Hi, I'm James Lamont, Fellow at the Vidine Center for Rural Economic Development at the University of Minnesota Crookston. I wanted to give you an update from about a month ago when we produced a video concerning the prolonged winter and the adverse effects associated with planting. Um, in history, we've had only 3 winters that were as long, if not colder, than the recent March and April here in the North Dakota and northern Minnesota region. Those were actually all in the 1880s and 1890s. So this was the first one at this length for roughly 120 years, according to the National Weather Service. In addition, USDA has confirmed that planters started rolling in every state, with North Dakota actually being the very last. In fact, it was early May before the first plantings really started. And all 49 other states had planters in place, which signals the start of the national planting season. Minnesota, especially in the southern part, is experiencing favorable conditions with ideal soil moisture levels and warmer temperatures. And corn planting has begun in Minnesota as well as South Dakota, with farmers taking advantage of those favorable weather conditions. Despite the slow start, planting, at least in the last corn report, reached about 5% or so in Minnesota. So progress is there. It's a little late. Concerning what's happening in the Dakotas, South Dakota wheat crop is facing several challenges. One, it was very cold, so everything was late. But two, unlike North Dakota and western Minnesota, the drought continues pretty extensively in parts of South Dakota where wheat is grown. And so that's likely to impact the growth in the yield for those producers in South Dakota. In North Dakota, as I mentioned earlier, farmers are experiencing slower planting progress than normal, and that's due to the extended winter and then the extra moisture because the late snow melt. Unfavorable weather conditions led to that, and planting delays in cold fields, more or less, may impact also the crop yields and contribute to maybe some supply challenges in the region just due to the fact that everything's getting in the ground late, and so the yields may be a little bit lower. Obviously, that depends on a number of factors that'll happen through summer, and then pretty much how far we can go into fall before we start having major freezing and things like that. So continued weathering, monitoring of the weather conditions and planting progress will be crucial for understanding what these yields look like, so that value-added producers as well as buyers in the region as well as abroad can understand precisely how this could impact their feedstock. So it'll be really interesting to watch in Minnesota and the Dakotas over the next several months. And I'd like to thank you for joining me. It's nice that it's finally spring, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care now.